Hey everybody, this is Pastor Roger.
And Sharon.
And we want to welcome you to another episode of
Home Group Live. So we're really excited about today's episode of Home Group Live because we're going to be helping you get connected to a resource that we believe is going to be a game changer for you and your group when it comes to choosing a Bible study. So if you remember from the very beginning of home groups, we encouraged you as leaders to start to pay really close attention to the conversations that were happening during home groups on maybe reoccurring themes or issues that people were dealing with, maybe some prayer requests that just really kept coming up in every family's life.
And the reason we ask you to do this is because these recurring themes are a great indicator of where the people in your group are in their lives. So maybe it was the constant questions about fear, or constant questions about how do I maintain joy, or parenting, or maybe it was just a deeper hunger for the Word of God. But what better way do we have as home group leaders to infuse the DNA of the Bible, to infuse God's Word into their lives by giving them a solid Bible-based study that will answer their questions?
And keep in mind, aside from telling our stories, aside from being vulnerable to each other, aside from living life together, which all of those are absolutely essential for your home group to survive and to thrive, but nothing is going to keep them knowing the value and wanting to stay connected to their home group more than practical and relevant Bible studies that are really dealing with what they are dealing with in their daily lives at home and their daily lives at work and their daily walk with God. So we want to be purposeful that we satisfy that need so they want to keep coming back.
Now, up to this point, our process for choosing curriculum we would ask you as leaders to come to the church and look through the library that we have. Then it's continuing to grow, which is fantastic. And if you didn't find something there that you felt like really met the need of your group, we would order something and then you would use it and then we would add it to the library.
But the drawback to that is there are thousands of Bible studies that we aren't tapping into. But that's about to change because today we're going to introduce you to a website that has been designed specifically to provide home groups an enormous library of Bible studies, seminars, and teachings from some of the world's leading pastors, leaders, teachers, and ministries. So instead of purchasing a DVD study for your home group, what you're going to do is simply go to this website that we're about to show you. You're going to choose a study that is perfect for your group. So pay really close attention as Pastor Roger introduces you to Right Now Media.
Hey there, home group leaders. This is Pastor Roger, and I'm incredibly excited about this video because we're introducing you to one of the coolest resources we have as home group leaders called Right Now Media. Now, each of you should have received in your email an email that looks similar to this, talking about Right Now Media or home group curriculum, and somewhere in that email there is a link that you'll just simply need to click on. If you find that link and you'll click on it, what will happen is your computer will automatically open your web browser and bring you to the Right Now Media page. Now, this first page that it brings you to, if you'll scroll down just a little bit, gives you the opportunity to fill in your personal profile. So this is going to be the information that is pertinent to you. So if you just simply follow through and fill that information in, fill in your email address, and then choose an 8-character password. Now it's going to be important that you write this password down because we won't know this. So if you forget your password, we're not going to be able to help you with that. They may be able to help you by simply clicking forgot password, but it's easiest if you just write it down somewhere that you know that you'll be able to remember it. So if you continue to follow down through here, filling out the information that applies to you, it will be great. So you get down to ministry interests. If you want to check some of these, you can. Those will kind of just give you specific studies to look at. It's not going to limit you from being able to see the other studies, but maybe it'll give you a little more focused in those areas if that's really what you're shooting for. So after you've filled those out, you come down and you click both of these orange boxes. There will be orange box with a white check, and then you simply hit next. You can choose to allow it to save your password or not. And then it'll bring you to this page, which is kind of a testimonial, and you really don't know much about it, so you may not have a testimonial to give at this point, so we can just say skip for now. And then that's going to bring you to the opening page of Right Now Media.
Well, that was easy.
Now that we're on this Right Now Media page, you can see that there's a big banner that scrolls across the top. It's just kind of telling you some of the most popular or some of the most used studies that are available through Right Now Media. If you scroll down a little bit on this page, you'll see that they have categorized several different studies into like most recent Right Now Media originals. And if you came over and hit see all, it would tell you several different options for that. Then there's most popular Bible studies, newly added Bible studies coming soon, and it just kind of goes down in different headings. Now, if you were wanting to look for something in particular, say you're a home group leader of all ladies and you wanted to look for a study for just ladies, or say you are wanting to talk about parenting, or you're wanting to talk about marriage, you would just come up into this search window, click on that, and let's type in the word family. Let's type in the word family correctly. All right. And see, it brings up all of the studies that are related to family. So there are 195 Bible studies we have to choose from that are related to family. We can come down and there are 151 kids series, and then there's some customizable training that we could do if we wanted to, some conference sessions, there's some video elements. So it just feels like this limitless resource that we can tap into to be able to meet that need. And it's incredible that we don't have to go outside of this one program to find these different things. They're all just kind of brought to us here in this Right Now Media. So if you wanted to, so let's say you were choosing Faith Family by David Platt. We'll click on that and it brings up again this header. But then if you scroll down a little bit, you can see on the right hand side, this has 4 separate sessions. And each of those sessions range between, it looks like 52 minutes and 56 minutes. So on here, you would just simply click the play button. It would bring up the screen and you would be able to play it. Let's do that right now. So it brings up this video screen, and then down in the bottom left-hand corner, you click play.
If you have his word, and I hope you do,
the video automatically starts playing. So it's very simple. It's very intuitive, and it's not difficult to kind of get used to. Now on the left-hand side, you see these buttons, these orange buttons that say download inside of them. On some of the studies, there will be this option for you to download just different material that you might want to give to the different people in your home group. Maybe they can follow along, maybe they can take notes, maybe they can write their questions down or whatever during the video portion in order that you guys can discuss it after the video is over. But that's a very handy thing. You just click download, you can download it right onto your computer and then print them off for everybody to have. But not every study has that. In fact, we're going to go back out of here and we're going to go to this Tim Kimmel teaching called The Hurried Family. Now again, we have the same heading. It's great. It's kind of uniform there, but when you scroll down a little bit, you see this one actually has 8 sessions, and then there's another option on here that's a trailer. It's about 2 minutes long, this particular one, and it's something that maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks before you actually start the study, you could play it for the home group, and they could kind of get an idea of what the study is going to be about for the next 8 sessions. So that gives them a chance to kind of prepare their minds and their hearts. If they have questions, they can write those questions down, but it just gets everybody on board with what's going on. Now the difference between this and the previous study we looked at is over here, instead of these buttons saying download, now they say buy now. So if you click on this, it would take you to a third-party vendor where you would be able to purchase those workbooks. Now, if you want to go that direction, that's fine. Or if you wanted to, when you choose your study, if you wanted to contact the church, we would be more than happy to purchase those, and then you could just reimburse the church after that. So that is really just up to you. But Right Now Media is just, it's such a great resource, and it has such great potential for your home group and every home group, honestly, because it's such a great tool. There are, again, I believe they said that there's over 18,000 different DVD studies that we can tap into and see what's going on to be able to minister to the people in our home groups. If you have a group that have a lot of kids in it, there's great news for that. Also, if you came up to this top ribbon and you hit the kids button, it would take you into that section that would show you that there are just dozens and dozens and dozens of different studies. And not just any study, these are some of the best in the market right now Phil Vischer's What's in the Bible. They have Superbook. They have Veggie Tales. I saw 321 Penguin there a few minutes ago. So there are just so many options when you go into that section for your kids. So our kids don't have to just sit around and play games or have coloring pages. There's a lot that we can do for them during our home group sessions also. And that is all available to you because you're a part now of this Right Now Media. You have access to all of these things, and it's just a great resource. And we are so excited that we've been able to tap into this and that we can see such great potential of what can happen in our home groups as a result of Right Now Media. I bet some of you are thinking, wow, Pastor Roger, this really does seem like a great resource, but how do I make this work at my house? How can I make it work in my living room? The answer to that is really simple. If you wanted to just use it on your computer, that is definitely an option, but you can also use it in so many other ways. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of that very first page called the home page, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see that there are apps that are available to download onto these kind of devices. So you have your Apple or iOS, so that's your iPhone or your iPad. Maybe if you have a MacBook or an iMac. The Android would go on your Droid phones. The Roku is a separate streaming device. Many of you may have it or you may not. And then there's Apple TV, which is a streaming device, and then Fire TV, which is a streaming device. So the truth is, you may have a smart television or a smart DVD player, or you may have one of these other streaming options that you can just simply download the app and then you can watch directly from there. Now, if you're in a scenario where you just kind of have your computer and you don't really have any other streaming things, that's fine. There's always ways that you can connect your computer directly to your television and be able to start watching those things right on your TV. It would just be run through your computer. So if you have any questions or you may need some help trying to get all of that worked out in your mind or understanding, we want to be able to help you with that. So please feel free to contact us and we would be able to just give you some insight or maybe some ideas on how to make that work. You will need an internet connection because this is streaming. It's pulling things right directly from the internet and streaming it in your home. So that is kind of an overview of what Right Now Media is. Hopefully we've given you the options that you need to walk through creating your own profile. And we just want to encourage you, go on, research, do a little bit of searching through the different options and just make yourself familiar with it, because we recognize that the more we become familiar with something, the more likely we are to use it. So we want you to utilize this amazing tool that we have available for home groups. We are so thankful to work alongside of you to make a difference in the lives of the people in our groups. And we thank you that you are caring enough to watch this video and to take the time and make the effort to be able to get a hold of these studies that are going to make a difference in their lives. So thank you, and we love you, and we'll talk to you soon.